Okay, for real this time? Okay. I've set this up so many times, so if it's not happening now, it's never gonna happen. But I'm going to make my very best attempt to record myself playing the 10:07 PTR. It's gonna be the Kirin Tor Quest line. That's what we're doing. This is my hunter. These are my peacocks. There's another bird here. That's not mine. It's just a random bird. And yeah, so let's just go and get the first quest on this quest line real quick. 1107 PTR, Dornagal. Here's Khadgar, normal man.
You've arrived just in time.
He says, "We have all suffered from Zalatath's deeds, some more than others. I'm glad to be alive, even if I now feel as old as I look." He tries to laugh but coughs instead. He waves off your worry. "Don't worry about me, but Aethys. I've heard he went back to Dalaran's crash site, and that he hasn't slept or eaten since we arrived. He wants my help, but I haven't been able to bring myself to visit the crash site. Will you go in my stead?"
It is
Okay.
a world. We all grieve Dalaran, but Aethys may need help processing its loss.
Alrighty. Awesome. So, I've done this quest line before, by the way. So, I'm sorry if, like, my reactions aren't, like, fresh and new. I've done it before. I just want to do it again. Here are some of my friends, the Sunravers. Hey guys. Hello. They keep walking away from me. But, anyways, yeah, I feel like a normal thing to say would be, "What the fuck are you talking about, Khadgar? He hasn't slept or eaten since we got here." You mean since we got to the War Within expansion? Because this expansion has been going on since August or something, and it's November. Which, like, whatever. Time doesn't have to pass in the game at the same rate as real life, but I think that it's usually pretty close, right? It's usually, like a year in the game, usually is close to a year in real life, and a lot of things have happened since we got to the island, Isle of Dorn. So it is crazy that he just casually says that this guy has not eaten or slept since we got here. He's an elf, so us elves we're so different. Yeah, I mean, I'm also an elf. I don't know if I said this out loud already, but I am a void elf. I'm a Token Alliance character. I played it on the first time I played this patch, or this PTR patch, I did it on
the
my...
fall of Dalaran shattered countless irreplaceable artifacts of immense
Okay,
power.
Jaina, stop. Jaina, stop. Sorry. I did it on my demon, my blood elf demon hunter, my horde. Most of my characters are horde, but I decided I would try doing it on my alliance character. So let's go see what he has to say.
No, that's not quite right.
He's so funny. So, yep, that's pretty cool. He's got some items, and yep, he is, here. And what does he say? He says, sorry, he is so crunchy. I mean, I am, like, pretty smooth, and he is, like, super crunchy. I don't know, my graphics are on low to try and make it less bad looking, but it's fine. So, the quest says, Aethys' posture is etched with the exhaustion of sleepless nights and days without food. His tattered clothes hang loosely on his emaciated frame, and his every movement seems fatigued. I see. I knew Khadgar was gravely injured, but it did not occur to me that his wounds were more than physical. I respect his choice not to come.
May we next meet under better circumstances.
Aethys sighs heavily, his voice tinged with sorrow. Dalaran, once a symbol of unity and arcane mastery, now reduced to rubble and ash again. So much loss and so much pain, friends and comrades gone in an instant, their voices silenced by Zalatath. He takes a deep breath, steeling himself against the overwhelming grief. But now is the time for action, not grief. We must regroup with the remaining Kirin Tor. However, the right words do not come easily.
Still we stand. I've been struggling to find the right words to pen this letter.
Poor guy. This is a fun thing. Aethys writing letters. These letters look kind of weird to me. I don't know. I don't know if I've seen these types of models in the game before. They're like they look like banners, but they also look like scrolls. I guess that's fine. They're fancy. They're very fancy. Aethys is into some fancy looking letters. This is true. There's a short story where he sends letters to Lorthamar, and they all get ignored, which I'm sure would never happen to him again. Okay, let's read his letters. This one says, "We, those who remain of the Kirin Tor, have much to mourn. Many of us have lost colleagues, friends, and loved ones in the wake of Dalaran's crash. But to do right by those who we lost, we must look forward to the future and make sure their sacrifice was meaningful. Find me in the Isle of Dorn, and we will bring closure to this fateful chapter of the Kirin Tor." And then this one in the middle says, "Dalaran has fallen, but we, the Kirin Tor, have not been vanquished. The time to act is upon us. Our order must rise from the ashes and once again fulfill our duties not only as defenders of Azeroth, but as the curators and custodians of magic. Join me in the Isle of Dorn to pick up the pieces of our legacy and the mantle of our responsibility. Join me in rebuilding the Kirin Tor." Okay. So that one's more like triumphant or whatever, more direct, stronger, acting strong. And then this one is like, "The loss of Dalaran and of much of our fellowship is a great tragedy. I think we would all benefit from coming together to meet informally as comrades to discuss the fate of the Kirin Tor going forward. Our most pressing agenda would be how to preserve and also make safe the crash site of Dalaran. I understand if returning or seeing it destroyed for the first time may be too much, but those of you who can, please make your way to the Isle of Dorn. I would benefit from seeing you and do need your help." So yeah, this one is, I mean, I'm gonna pick this one just because it's the saddest and the most sincere, I think, like, more being real about his I guess, like, how painful it is and how he needs help and stuff. His little area is very cute. He's got some picture of a gnome here. He's got a plushie, and that's all great. I mean, honestly, there's not that much over here. There's these little mana guys, or what are they called? Shattered crystals. Okay, there's these things. It's a bookshelf. Picture of Dalaran. Okay, that's all cool. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna pick the sadder one, the more sincere one. That's what I think is more true
All
to
that I worked for, gone.
more true to what he's going through.
The Sun Reavers will defend what remains.
Yeah.
It is important we use our power wisely.
Yeah. Okay. So I am selecting this one. He's enchanting it. Sends it out. He accepts my advice. No questions asked. Thank you, Aethys, for listening to me, your fellow elf, even though I'm an Alliance elf and you're a Horde elf.
For Dalaran.
Okay, he says, "We have taken the first step at least. Now we wait."
May we next meet under better circumstances.
I'm not going anywhere. He says, "Kirin Tor survivors have been hesitant to return to this area. A great deal of energy was dispelled before and after Dalaran's crash. An invisible yet tangible miasma lingers in the area for those who are sensitive to it." Oh, what? You think just because I'm a hunter, I'm not sensitive to the miasma? It is unclear if the site is hazardous or if other more corporeal dangers still lurk here. I can protect us, but I expended all my reagents at the proscenium. Will you aid me in procuring more?
Still we stand. This area is dangerous. We must act to protect ourselves while we are here.
Okay. No worries, Aethys. I will go get you some reagents. Not an issue. So, yeah, War Within, spoilers, the Dalaran crashed. and this guy is very affected by it. He is way more worried about all of this than anybody else. And I should just say this to not bury the lead or to bury the truth of the matter. I have what you might call a special interest in Aethys Sunreaver.
I need to target something
I'm
first.
here. I'm an atheist thinker, an atheist observer. So, like, that's why this is the second time I'm doing the PTR quest line. And
A few
there's
survivors are still unaccounted
atheists.
for. Please gather them and return them to safety.
Okay, I guess since I just admitted to being an atheist observer, I will do the stupid world quest. That's funny. It's kind of, I mean, it's not that weird, but I just did that world quest on my hunter today, and obviously they didn't, I guess, keep the data when I copied her over to tell the PTR that I had already done this quest today.
I require a target.
What are you talking about? There's nothing to attack. But anyways, and pretty much, yeah, I guess I can do the plush. I don't know. There's gonna be a lot of quests to do, so actually maybe I'll just try to move through these a little bit quicker. I'm interested in Aethys, and not just Aethys. There'll be, oh, my thing is dying. There'll be other characters that show up that I'm also interested in. I know all the spoilers. I've already played this quest line, or at least the PTR version of it. But we'll see who shows up. But Aethys is cool. Aethys is a blood elf. You might know him from the Purge of Dalaran. I don't know why it doesn't. I guess because they're like, it doesn't want to target those guys, but whatever, it's fine. Maybe it's a user error. I'm just gonna assume it's user error when I can't make my World of Warcraft work correctly. But anyways, and pretty much, yeah, you might know Aethys from the Purge of Dalaran. He was the guy that was purged from Dalaran. You might know him from the Mage class hall in Legion, famous class hall expansion. And yeah, he gets to do some things in those expansions, and he is back for the War Within.
I do not have a target.
And I mean, I would try to say more about Aethys Sunreaver and be like, oh, here's the fascinating history of Aethys Sunreaver. I think that it's fair to say that in the War Within, he is getting sort of a new lease as a character. Not a new lease on life, kind of the opposite of a new lease on life as far as his arc goes, or his actual experiences go, but he's he's very strongly being characterized as this guy who is just racked with trauma and grief, yada yada. I'm not saying that's completely new. I'm not saying he didn't have trauma and grief in other expansions. He totally did. It's just I don't know. It's so obviously the main trait, at least in this patch, is so obviously the main trait that they're highlighting. And I don't know what other traits he's had in previous expansions. I mean, I do, because I played most of his quests from previous expansions, and I guess that so the thing is that, okay, the Purge of Dalaran, which everybody played in Mr. Pandaria Remix, I'm sure, is the first big I want to say it's the first big quest line that involves Aethys. I think that's fair to say. Whatever, he was in Wrath of the Lich King, but he didn't have anything too crazy going on in that expansion, I don't think. And so he was in Wrath of the Lich King, and in Mist of Pandaria, right, so there's all these issues because Theramore exploded, and then Jaina became the leader of the Kirin Tor, and she's like, oh, I want the Kirin Tor to stay neutral, even though there's this war happening in Pandaria, Crush Hellscream, yada yada. I don't want to be anti-horde or whatever. Aethys is a Horde elf. He was one of the Council of Six, one of the leaders of Dalaran. All of this. And then later, the Horde betray. Okay, whatever. Some small group of Sunreavers betray Jaina and the Kirin Tor, and she gets pissed, and she kicks them all out of Dalaran. Depending on your interpretation, maybe she was, murdering babies in the street. I don't really know, but she kicks the Horde out of Dalaran, including all the Sunreavers, including Aethys. And that's a big deal because Aethys really likes Dalaran, or he really liked Dalaran, past tense, I guess you could say. And so that was tough, and that was hard. This is probably even worse, but yeah, let's go see what he says now.
I hesitate to scavenge reagents from Dalaran, but we need a barrier if we are to remain here.
Don't feel too bad about it. What else are you gonna do? You're just gonna leave him there? Why do you hesitate to scavenge reagents? It's who else is gonna scavenge them? You're the only guy here.
The Sunreavers.
Okay.
Will defend what remains.
So he says the last few days have been difficult. I get that sense. And so I guess you're supposed to think it's only been a few days since the War Within started, which is fine. I don't even want to look at his tower because it's so crunchy. The rest of him looks fine to me, but it doesn't matter. So yeah, I guess it's only been a few days, which is fine. I don't mind that. It feels a little bit untrue, but I'll take your word for it.
It is important we use our power wisely.
He says, yes, these will do. Thank you, Drellin. Despite the shards and elementals roaming there, it seems the ruins are not immediately dangerous. But if we are to spend any time here, an arcane barrier is wise. We don't know the long-term effects of exposure of this kind.
Still we stand. And so, we fight on.
He says the spell for the barrier is ready, but I must channel it and define its perimeter. While I channel the spell, take these wards and place them at the edges of our would-be barrier. We will empower the spell when you're finished.
It is important we place the wards on the ground, champion. I will channel the barrier.
Okay. There he is, doing his wavy arms. So cool. I feel so embarrassed now that I've admitted I'm an atheist thinker. I don't know why I admitted that. Look, I'm doing my wavy arms too.
It seems the Kirin Tor continue to make the same mistakes.
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
If fate has brought Dalaran low twice, maybe it should not be rebuilt.
Well, I mean, nobody seems interested in rebuilding it, Aethys, so... Okay.
For all the ground we gain, we lose people. And history.
I don't like this pose. I'm sorry, but, like, I feel like he usually does a different pose, and I get that it's like, well, this is, like, there's something happening above his head. He usually does, like, his arms sticking out in front of him, but, yeah, he's gotta do the wavy arms. It just looks... I mean, it just looks terrible with his giant shoulders, all pushed back. It's fine. It doesn't matter. I'm sorry. Okay, so let me click on this one. Like the little Kirin Tor eye on your little symbols here.
Now, champion, use the Frostfire Essence to seal the barrier.
Okay, let me see if I do the wavy arms too. Oh, so yeah, I'm doing a different casting.
That will do. I think I may need a moment to catch my breath.
Take all the time you need. Yeah, so Big Purple Bubble, this is a Dalaran reference. He's a Dalaran elf. So that's cool. He's on his knees. Very atheist,
all that I worked for,
as an atheist thinker,
gone.
I can tell you that's a normal thing for him. So he says, yes, this will do for now.
May we next meet under better circumstances.
He says, I fear that it may just be me that remains. Okay, give him a minute. Or that the others are too far away to receive my missive. It's like, if it's only been like a few days since the beginning of the War Within, I feel like you could give everybody at least until the next patch to show up. It may be up to us to build an outpost here and see to the cleansing of the crash site. So be it. It's just as well. I'm here. I'll be a Kirin Tor elf with you. You know, Alliance and Horde, Hunter and Mage. Like, we got this. We totally got this.
Still we stand. I doubt if we
I have
can
two
do all
birds,
of
too.
this alone. What? What is that on the horizon?
Oh god, I didn't even get to see him, really. Stupid.
You are
dummy.
not alone, friends.
Caligos!
Aethys.
You got my
Aethys.
message!
Okay, Aethys, I'm sorry I keep talking over you, but I need to tell you something. There's been an intruder in our big purple bubble that we made. Some stupid man has just walked directly through our big purple bubble, and it didn't even slow him down. So, this is really upsetting to me, Aethys. This is like a stranger danger situation. By the way, this character has never leveled through Dragonflight. So, anyways, I wonder if there's any difference on a character that hasn't leveled through Dragonflight. I think 90% of players would have leveled through Dragonflight. I mean, obviously, I've played Dragonflight. I'm also a dragon thinker. I'm so embarrassed. I should never have admitted that, especially when Kalik is the dragon that's here. But yeah. In case anybody didn't see, he flew in as a big dragon, which is cool. I wish that had lingered, or I had more of an opportunity to look over and see him, because it happened fast. I feel like,
We
or maybe I
must
was
safeguard what is left of Dalaran.
maybe I wasn't paying enough attention. He's talking about Dalaran. So he says, I was already on my way here after hearing about Dalaran's demise. I'm glad I found you here. Khazalgar wasn't easy to reach. Excuses. All the arcane energy that is being ceaselessly released from Dalaran's ruins must interfere with long-range teleportation spells. I wonder how many others tried to respond to your missive but couldn't. Oh my goodness. So it was all Aethys' fault for not sending out the missive correctly. Let me just make sure Aethys doesn't say anything, because I don't think he
For
does.
Dalaran.
He says he'll be fine. Okay, he'll be
May
fine,
we
Caleb.
next meet?
Okay, we can use your help.
I can definitely help with that. Here, take this bag and start setting up camp.
Thank you. Thank you for the bag. Aethys, he gave me a bag.
The Sun Reavers will defend what remains.
He says, I always wanted to get myself one of these bags, but they're very rare. Cut. I don't know why he says cut.
It is important we use our power
Okay.
wisely.
Why are you handing me this bag, Caleb? Why don't you just do it yourself? Just kidding. Okay, look, all these things
Now,
are here now.
excuse me. I need a moment with Aethys.
Okay. Take your time. I'll
Aethys.
just be right here with my
I
birds.
brought mana potions, but it's obvious what you really need is rest.
Rest? No. I am afraid to close my eyes, Caligos.
That's it? Okay. I thought he was gonna go on about why he's afraid to close his eyes, you know, the horrors or the nightmares or whatever. But he just says he's afraid to close his eyes, which I guess means his eyes are open under his hat. Flying carpet hovers, its fringe trembling with irritation and its threads rippling with discontent. Direct the carpet to an unoccupied spot. Okay, cool. And I got the flight point. Tranquil Strand, whatever. Cool. Tranquil, elf reference, obviously. Tranquillian. I get it. I'm an elf. I know these things. Cool. Got our little tent. Got a little mailbox. So that's awesome. We got all of our things now. So yeah, Kalik offered him a mana potion. It's just sitting there. It's just kind of funny to me because, like, yeah, I mean, he says it. He's like, you really just need a rest and food. He hasn't eaten, Kalik. He's an elf. He's not a giant dragon. He should eat every day. I know because I'm an elf. Okay.
In the darkest of times, we need the truest of friends.
Oh my goodness, he is so dramatic.
You can count on me for support.
May we next meet? on the better
Okay, so he says, well done, that bag is quite useful, isn't it? I'm glad I thought to bring it with me. You're just amazing. Now on to the task at hand.
Call on me again, and I will follow.
Call on me again, and I will follow. I'm afraid that our cleanup of Dalaran extends far from the shores of the Isle of Dorn. In my attempts to find you, I circled this island many times. During my flight, I sensed the magic of many familiar items, items that were formerly housed in Dalaran. Dangerous items. Someone or something has taken them, who knows where. We must find these objects before innocent bystanders come to harm. Follow me. Okay, let's go.
Do not worry. I'll meet you at morning rise, champion. I need to.
Caligos, go. I will be fine.
Maybe, but I am not leaving that to chance. Let's go, champion.
Just like a dragon. Stubborn and a show-off.
Just like a It's almost like he's a dragon, Aethys. Yeah, so he made some images.
I have prepared an assortment of items I hope will help you.
I already knew that this Kalik was a fucking vendor, otherwise I would have been incensed. But I don't know what's going on with vendor Kalik. I don't know why he's willing to take my money.
The life of a shopkeeper is somewhat appealing, actually.
Life as a shopkeeper is somewhat appealing. Okay, I hadn't heard that one before. He just wants a simple life, as 17 mirror images that are all really one giant reptile. Okay, so wait, did Aethys say? Did you have anything else to say before I go, Aethys?
All that I worked for.
Oh yeah, I can stay and listen.
Gone.
This will be exciting.
Still we stand. And so
this guy comes over to him. Whoa. Okay, yeah, so the stay and listens aren't actually in here yet, but that's fun. That's fun that they're gonna talk to each other. I like stay and listens. I like stuff like that. So we are gonna fly over to where Kalik is, way over here, and that'll be fun. I mean, yeah, you know, Kalik and Aethys, they don't really talk about how they know each other. It's just sort of like a given. They would have been mages together in Dalaran. I guess that is a given because this questline is about Dalaran. But I guess that, you know, people would have played Dragonflight and they would have known Kalik already. And they would have played Mists of Pandaria Remix and they would know Aethys already. So, you know, I suppose it doesn't all need that much of an explanation. You know, I think the real only, like, place that you can see Kalik and Aethys interact is the Mage Class Hall, before the War Within, at least. And yeah, I mean, funnily enough, they're both also in Dragonblight, just completely different corners of Dragonblight, and really one of those is Aethys' mirror image. Aethys can also make mirror images, even though he calls Kalik a show-off for doing it. You know, it's not his fault that he has eaten recently, and he is also the aspect of magic, which also isn't his fault.
The kobolds are definitely hoarding magical items here. I can sense them.
Cool.
Mistakes have been made, but we can learn from them.
Yeah, okay, so this is something I want to ask these mages is... they're like, mistakes have been made, and we'll do the quests, and it's not that they don't talk about mistakes at all, but Aethys had an interesting line where he was like, to me, it seems like the Kirin Tor keeps making the same mistakes over and over again, and I'm like, what do you mean specifically by that, Aethys? Because I would assume that you have some very specific issues with the mistakes the Kirin Tor have made in the past, and I don't think any of those mistakes get addressed in this questline. And maybe I'll talk about that more. But anyways, he says, we will begin our search here. I can feel faint arcane auras emanating from around and beneath this structure. The kobolds must have found and brought them to this place.
You can count on me for support.
He says the kobolds here could get up to untold mischief with the items they've stolen. Take what you can back from them by whatever means you see fit. While you deal with the kobolds around Morning Rise's grave sites, I'll go underground and search Kriegel's Rest to do the same. Okay. Sorry, I don't know how to silence this. I'm like literally a boomer. But anyways, so yeah, he wants me to meet me near Kira's Rest. Cool, cool, cool.
Do
awesome.
not worry. This, I must admit, the sight of Dalaran reduced to rubble overwhelmed me. Though I put on a strong front for Aethys, I need a distraction. Something else to focus on.
His eyes are so crumbly. Okay, and then this kobold has a quest for me. Kill the kobold peacocks. Kill them.
I cannot attack that target.
Why is it being so weird about what I can attack? It's so annoying. So yeah. Okay, I will say this is my theory. This is a fresh War Within 1107 PTR theory. Why is Kaylet going to Kriegville's Rest and like name dropping it? I get that it's just a location in this game, but it's a delve, and I'm like, you know, I believe that when they talked about the War Within early on in the delves, they made it a point that there would be multiple heroes that go inside the delves with you, besides Bran Bronzebeard. So Kaylik's in a delve right now, I don't know. And he says he needs to like work out his energy because of his Dalaran feelings, so I guess, I don't know. The gem pulses, hinting at magic woven to its very core. Okay, so I'm gonna take this green necklace here to Kaylik. Awesome. I'm sure he will appreciate that. I'm just saying, I don't know, I mean, I'm sure it's nothing, it's just, that's just where my mind goes because, you know, there's gotta be somebody that's gonna be on the next, delves, I probably in, you know, 1101, just no O. So, yeah, that's something to look forward to. Predicted here now, Kaylik is the new Bran Bronzebeard. So, I don't know, I mean, that's, I don't know who else would be the new Bran Bronzebeard. Honestly, I mean, like, as a dragon thinker, I did think, you know, it could be Rathian, just because Rathian's a popular character. But, you know, maybe Blizzard is just trying to diversify the dragons that we, kind of, I mean, whatever, it's like, yeah, they're trying to diversify the dragons. There were plenty of dragons in Dragonflight, and Kaylik was one of those dragons, so bringing Kaylik in, it's not like this, like, bold new thing, like, oh, we're trying to promote this new character, Kalikos. But it's just like, I just feel like they're putting Kaylik in a position that feels like, it feels like it's like, oh, you remember your beloved Kalikos. Everybody loves Kalikos, right? Or that's just me, probably. But, and I don't know how to put it other than, like, that's also how I felt, like Rathian was kind of positioned, or he has been positioned when he does come in, you know, I mean, obviously he was in pretty much every patch in Dragonflight, and, you know, I feel like when he came in Battle for Azeroth, it was also kind of that feeling, even though that was maybe like a soft reset for Rathian, in the same way that Dragonflight was like a soft reset for Kaylik, so whatever. Characters come and go, characters rise, their like profiles rise, sometimes they maybe fall, they die, whatever happens to them, like Dalaran's profile has recently fallen, but yeah, I mean, and obviously I think that this patch sort of marks a time for Aethys Sunreaver to become a more significant character in World of Warcraft. Like, I mean, you know, I am an Aethys thinker, and I did have an inkling that he would be important in this expansion because he has unique things to say to you. You know, even before this patch came out, you could hear him talk about how sad he was about Dalaran, and it just seemed like he was going to be doing something because they went through the trouble of giving him those things to say. You know, the Sunreavers will defend what remain for Dalaran, all that stuff. So I was expecting him to do stuff, but I do feel like, you know, at least at the beginning of this quest, he's the main guy. Unfortunately, Kalik shows up. Unfortunately, I don't necessarily feel like whatever story they may have wanted to tell with Aethys here feels truly complete, and I'm sorry for spoiling 1007. 11, I always want to call it 1007. I'm sorry for spoiling 1107 by saying that. It's like, well, we'll see if it feels complete or not, but it's just that question of the mistakes of the Kirin Tor, which is part of how this patch was, where the storyline in this patch was advertised, was facing the mistakes of the past. And I don't really know if they do that, you know? They make some attempts, and that's cool. I don't mind the attempts so much, but for Aethys, right, it's like, you know, this storyline starts with Aethys as sort of the central figure that's like bringing people together, and who has this really strong connection to Dalaran, and this like big trauma, big grief, you know, big depression, big starving himself to death, all these things he's going through. So yeah, it's just interesting that the mistakes they talk about don't seem to be the mistakes I think Aethys would be interested in talking about, but we'll see. You don't have anything to say to me when I walk up to you? You're just gonna stand there silently? Okay.
I will do whatever I can for the Kirin Tor. Call on me again, and
He's really into the Kirin Tor. This was a surprise. It was a surprise because at the end of Dragonflight, he tells Khadgar that he's stepping down from the Council of Six, which doesn't mean that he stops liking the Kirin Tor. I guess it doesn't even technically renounce his Kirin Tor membership. I don't remember the scene exactly. I don't know exactly what he says to Khadgar, but I only, like, if I were to phrase it, the way I remember it is he basically said he was stepping down from the Council of Six, not that he was doing anything else. As far as he didn't say, I will never ever come to Dalaran again or anything, and so it's fine. He was a member of the Council of Six. He was a Kirin Tor mage. He lived in Dalaran. He had a girl from Dalaran. All of these things. So it's valid that he wants to be here. It was just surprising to me that he came back, because they didn't have to bring him back, because they sort of gave him an excuse of saying that he was, like, really busy with his dragons and dragons.
Champion, did you find anything?
Oh, now you want to talk to me.
We must safeguard what is left of Dalaran.
Wait,
May
what's
there
he say?
be
He
fairer
says,
skies
it's good to see
ahead.
you, though I wish we weren't always meeting under these circumstances. I've never met you before in my life, just so you know.
Call on me again,
I don't think
and
so.
I will follow.
No, I mean, oh, no, I do remember I did meet him because I did the Hunter Class Hall, and he appears, partway through the Hunter Class Hall to, try and get me to make my bow more powerful or something. He says, we must search and reclaim what we can, even the smallest curio could be meaningful to someone or dangerous.
Do not worry. This is not the end of the Kirin Tor.
Okay, I won't worry. I am shocked to see how much they managed to pilfer in such a short time.
You can count on me for support.
He says, the kobold that had this was dead, did you say? That does not bode well.
May there be fairer skies ahead.
He says, this necklace, it's clearly full of powerful magic, but it is elusive, as if it's hiding its origin from me. You take another look. Maybe there's something obvious I'm missing.
I can feel faint traces of spells I haven't seen used in years.
Okay. This magical emerald necklace pulses with arcane power, its proximity giving you a tingling sensation. Reach out here. Let me get off my hippogriff so that she's not in the way, and my birds will be here to defend me. What did he say? He said maybe there's something I'm missing. He's just holding it out to me. I mean, pictures taken before a totally normal thing. Oh, he knows that I love green and gold. He saw my outfit and he was like, I got you this necklace. I'm like, Kalik, that is so forward of you.
In the darkest of times, we need the truest of friends.
That is so funny. Okay. I'll touch the necklace. Sure, Kalik. Sure. Yeah, that was...
A curse! Hold on!
Okay, no worries. No worries. I will not hold it against you for getting me a curse necklace, you know. Um, I thought you were trying to do something nice for me, but whatever.
I will do whatever I can for the Kirin Tor.
You will do whatever you can to get us out of this stupid thing. So he says, it was foolish of me to let my guard down. Do not be alarmed, Drellin, but this appears to be a pocket dimension. If the kobolds that met their demise here are any indication, it may be difficult to return to the Isle of Dorn. You're the here, let me just read this real quick. You are the aspect of the blue dragon flight. You are the most powerful magical dragon man in all of magical dragon men or women, I'm sure. Not to make this about gender or anything, but anyways, so okay, whatever. It's like I'm sure we'll be fine. Right? Okay. So
call on me again, and I will follow.
Okay, he says to call on him again, and he will follow a pocket dimension. This is old magic. Malagos used pocket dimensions on occasion, when he did not wish to be disturbed. They were mainly used by mages as research spaces or for testing dangerous spells, or if a mage wanted to hide what they were doing. Okay. Or if two mages wanted to hide from all the other mages. So he says, I wonder who made this one. I supposed it doesn't matter. We need to get out. Thankfully, every pocket dimension has an exit, though it's normally well hidden. Let's find it.
May there be. Perhaps that scroll holds the key to leaving.
Do you want me to go touch that scroll, Kalik? You don't want to go touch it yourself? I swear.
Look, the dimension, it's shifting.
Cool. No worries. So this one says, after extensive experiments on rats, it is evident that I have reached the limitations of what can be learned from them as test subjects. To progress my research further, it is imperative that I transition to human subjects. What about elves? I mean, elves could make pretty good subjects, so I don't know. However, this shift introduces significant ethical risks. I also risk discovery by my meddling quote-unquote peers. To mitigate these risks, I should consider sourcing subjects from the sewers, where disappearances are less likely to attract attention. This approach may seem quote-unquote controversial, but it is the only way to obtain the knowledge I so crave. Okay, yeah, so this is a mage, talking about their research notes from Dalaran. I don't actually, I probably have read that before, but I don't remember it. Let's see. This one says, he promised to cure me. Everyone said the Kirin Tor can be trusted. Now look at me. Yeah, the Kirin Tor can be trusted. Let's see. This one says, he got angry when the experiment failed. Can you help us? I'll release you. I'm releasing you into the Shadowlands. Don't worry about it. This one says, he found me in the sewers, promised food and a safe place to sleep. It's so cold here.
Another shift. Keep doing what you're doing. Perhaps we'll shift out of here.
Okay, there's some grain. That's not ominous. Cauldron. I feel like I read something else last time. So, deliver to Dalaran as requested, fresh grain from Brill. Okay. Because last time I read like a diary. I don't know if they changed it or if you can get
the ones
different.
in Northrend. But they're unstable. Are they
I require
a
a target.
prototype?
It's interesting that he says like the ones in Northern. That's a reference to...
Enough! Did the council send you to seize my tomes again?
Careful. Even though that's a mirror image, it can still be dangerous.
Yeah, I know. You're the king of mirror images, so you would know. Okay, so...
I do not have time for pleasantries.
This is cute. I like his little Kirin Tor belt. I like his, like, ribs on his tabard, or his shirt. Yeah, I mean, he's got a cool look. You can see his, like, normal face here. Oh, his name is Archmage Kel'Thuzad. That's normal. But and he's got
Where was I?
a nice voice. He also has a pet. I also have pets, so you know, I just feel an instant kinship with this mage because I also am a pet parent, so to speak. So
Why are you speaking?
he says there must be a way out. The answer lies somewhere in this chamber. Okay.
Do not worry. This is not the end of the Kirin Tor.
Okay, I'm not worried. So Kel'Thuzad says, Meddlesome Hunter, how did you find this place? What is this place? Must I explain everything to you, simpletons? Fine. This pocket dimension is a realm hidden from prying eyes, a place where driven, visionary mages like myself can make real progress. It is a world of shadow, cloaked in magic, where time bends to your will and power flows freely, if you know how to harness it. And best of all, there are no distractions, no fools meddling in your affairs, just you, your ambition, and raw arcane energy waiting eagerly to be tamed and shaped. I saw your experiments. As the sole master of this dimension, the usual quibbling alliance moral constraints and the nonsense rules of the Kirin Tor are, shall we say, optional. Progress demands sacrifice, sometimes of the body, sometimes of the soul. Here I push the boundaries of magic in ways narrow-minded mages like Antonidas would never dream. Flesh is just another material to mold. Death merely a doorway to greater power. Here I reanimate, reshape, and rewrite the very laws of existence. Souls, energy, life are all tools. There is no room for sentiment when grappling with the power of life and death. The key to immortality is within my reach. I mean, I think that you've answered it. Just mirror image immortality. You figured it out already. You don't need to, I don't know, do your undead stuff. Okay. So tell me about the Kirin Tor. The Kirin Tor, more like Kirin Tor. They are nothing but a husk of their former selves. Once they pursued true magical power, but now they're bogged down by endless debates and pointless moral equivocating. Every spell I questioned, every action turned into political theater. Instead of mastering magic, they waste time worrying about ethics and appearances. They've forgotten that magic isn't a gift, it is power. Power we could wield to dominate our foes. And finally have and finally, I wish that was like in parentheses, and finally have lasting peace. Although maybe a true Kel'Thuzad thinker or scholar would say that this actually is his backstory or his motives. But instead we negotiate and pander. Pathetic. Okay, well, it happens. So we're here by mistake. We would leave if we knew how.
A mistake? Is that not what the Kirin Tor is now? Bumbling mages making mistakes and meddling in what they understand not. They mistake cowardice for morality and wisdom for mediocrity. True power can only come from sacrifice, from setting aside taboos and fear, and venturing into the unknown. So do not speak to me of mistakes. The Kirin Tor is the mistake. I have chosen my path, one of learning and discovery. I will not be hindered by the short-sightedness of those who cling to the illusion of right and wrong. Now go, before I find use for you in one of my experiments.
You're not gonna say anything, Kalik? You're not, like, curious to, like, just ask one question to this dead man's mirror image? You're not a little bit curious?
Can
I mean,
you not see there is work to be done?
I chatted him up. So he's not really giving me too much.
Be gone.
Cool. No worries. Yeah. I mean, so the theme of mistakes is
We're
still
back.
coming up.
Kel'Thuzad helped us. And the necklace is just a necklace now.
I'll take it. I will take it. It matches my outfit. Thank you. Are you sure it's just a... That was my cat. Are you sure it's just a necklace? Maybe you're missing something. Let me take a look. But, interesting. Let me see what he
Mistakes
says.
have been made.
He says, look, whatever magic
can
was in the
learn
necklace
from
is
them.
gone now. I can't tell that just by looking at a necklace. I'm a hunter. And with it, Kel'Thuzad's mirror image. Are you sure? Because it doesn't seem like he would, if he was the one that did it, that sent us out of there, it doesn't seem like he would do something that would make his mirror image go away. And Kaylik, frankly, I don't think you're very careful about magical curses. I don't think you're very thorough about these things. I'm kind of thinking we might need a second opinion.
May there be fairer skies ahead.
He says, what we experienced in Kel'Thuzad's pocket dimension is a timely reminder of what can happen when magic is used without regard to ethics or regulation. To me, this underlines the importance of the Kirin Tor. But on the other hand, Kel'Thuzad was Kirin Tor. It's also a reminder of how power corrupts. Now that we've made sure these artifacts will not cause anyone else to go on an unexpected trip, let's return to Aethys. Perhaps now more have responded to his letter.
Do not worry. Our brush with Kel'Thuzad underscores my greatest fears about the Kirin Tor. We need to regroup.
Okay, so he says it oh, he's turning into a big dragon. Oh, there he goes. I mean, you did that, like, right on top of me and my birds. I feel like that was a little bit rude, to be honest with you. But, anyways. Okay, he says it underlies his greatest fear, but is it the fear of being like Kel'Thuzad, or the fear of, like, sort of having no morals? I guess that's the fear, but I also feel like, I don't know, like, there's this idea that, like, is it the fear of the Kirin Tor being corrupt? I mean, the Kirin Tor is basically a shattered mess, so, like, I honestly feel like you can't be worrying about whether or not you're gonna have, like, necromancers or whatever in your Kirin Tor right now. It just seems like a really odd fear, or an odd mistake to highlight. And then Kel'Thuzad actually is like, well, the mistake is how like, how much politics or how limited my colleagues were at the Kirin Tor, right? Like, you know, Antonidas was such an asshole. He was so limiting, whatever. And it's like, to Kel'Thuzad, that was the mistake. And so it just becomes like a very odd, or like not a strong message to me. And I get that Kel'Thuzad is the bad guy, so we're not supposed to listen to him. But he was
The
a
fall
Kirin
of Dalaran shattered countless irreplaceable...
He was a Kirin Tor mage, and I think his perspective is not something I would just totally dismiss, because, like, he at least had some amount of respect, even if he turned into, like, a great villain or whatever. And this was, who knows if this was him at his worst or not. This was just a mirror image, and like Kaylik said, he helped us. He was so helpful in freeing us and just deleting his mirror image from the necklace. That was so polite of him. I'm sure nothing bad will happen as far as that goes.
Kalecgos, it is good to see you.
Are you not going to say hi to her? Okay. Hi, Jaina. There, I said hi to her. By the way, I'm Alliance, so Jaina's my lady. I mean, I don't know what to tell you other than that.
I will do what I can.
She says closure is finding peace and saying goodbye.
I know what must be done.
He says, it looks like more mages have arrived. This gives me hope. I'm sure Aethys will be relieved.
You can count on me for support.
Okay, they're still not talking to each other.
The true battle lies ahead.
She says Calicos's hypothesis that Dalaran's debris interferes with long-range teleportation seems correct. Mage portals have appeared along the shore, but no one has stepped through them. There are likely mages trapped within the portals. Or something mana-hungry, like fell hunters, may be being lured here by the release of Dalaran's power. We must investigate. Mages of the Kirin Tor may be in danger. The fell hunters are an acceptable risk. Let's not waste any more time. Okay, I'm actually not gonna...
will endure.
I'm not gonna accept this quest real quick. I know, right? I know, the Alliance will endure. I love the Alliance. I'm just gonna glance up here. There's some people. It's actually... No, it's just some mirror images in this player. So, I mean, Kalik said more mages have arrived, but I'm not seeing them.
The Sun Reavers will defend what remains.
He says he'll be fine, so,
use our power wisely.
Nobody worry about Aethys. So I'm just gonna take a break here, see what's going on, and, yeah, that's fun. That's a fun PTR. I'm really curious what exactly, and obviously, like, this is just the PTR. When the actual patch comes out, there may be differences, there may be stay and listens, there may be more to it. So I'm curious both to, like, see, I've played it before, but I'm curious to see again how they continue this theme of the Kirin Tor's mistakes and how, you know, how it'll look on the actual patch too. You know, so far it's Kel'Thuzad. Kel'Thuzad was a mistake. He was an evil mage. But Kel'Thuzad says the mistake was the Kirin Tor being too limiting in their magic or whatever. And so I'm like, two sides, two good points there. So who knows what the real mistake was. You know, I talked a little bit about how Dalaran was purged at one point. I'm sure that this guy and this lady, my lady Jaina, over here have nothing to do with that. So, you know, it's just one of those things. When you think about mistakes, you think about some of the stories that happened. Maybe a Miss Pandaria remix that everybody played over the summer. I don't really know. But yeah, I will come back and finish the PTR later on, and that was fun. Let me get my birds out, so they can say goodbye. And yeah, we'll go stand over here with Aethys, and chill out for now.